Hey, hi, what's up? How's it going? Today I was sent an absolutely hilarious game of chess. It is so funny. I know it's not my usual content, but if you have a basic understanding of the game of chess, you should be able to see the humor in this. At least once. Anyway, I'm Bloviating. I want to show you this game because it is very funny. I also feel the need to preface this. I did not play this game. If I played this game, I would hide it from everybody. Okay. Let's see. The first move was played was d4. This is called the queen's pawn opening, I believe. Very, very common opening. I believe the second most common, I think. Most common is e4. But, yeah, you activate your bishop. I absolutely just... What'd I do? Whatever, who cares? You activate your bishop, that kind of thing. Opponent replies with what's called the modern defense. I believe the modern defense is actually this. But it's basically the same idea. The idea is to put your bishop here. This is called the fianchetto, which basically means your bishop controls the long diagonal, which is when it is at its most effective. Not most effective. When it is very effective. That's the idea here. Replies with f4. Very strange move. It's not a terrible move, but the idea is it weakens your king a little bit. And just in general, in chess, you don't want to move your f-pawn as much on the white pieces, and the black pieces too. Because the idea is to keep these three pawns there. Get rid of these two pawns in castle, if you want to castle kingside, that is, I guess. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm bloviating. Point is, that's not a very good move. I expected this move, but I guess that's too high level, and they just responded with d5. Now, what's weird is this is actually the best move. Very common move, very principled move. I have no issue with it. I just really expected this. Strong move, though. I can genuinely not get mad at that. I don't love e3. I do not love e3, because it continues to weaken your king. And you really should be getting your knights out, if not your bishops out. You really should be developing your minor pieces, rather than just continuing to push pawns. Opponent replies with b6. I'm unsure if they know they have minor pieces. I'm genuinely unsure. I think they might only have pawns. It's just silliness. Finally plays a non-pawn move. Very weird move. It's not a bad move by any sense of the imagination. It's just very odd. Like, you're going to want to develop your knights. You want to get your knights out there. You want to get your bishops out there. This is actually a pretty strong threat. Because they what was the idea? I don't know, whatever. You want to get your bishop out. You want to get your knights out. That kind of thing. Getting your queen out, not a bad idea. But that's just such a peculiar square to put it on. You should probably be putting it on this square, or this square. So that kind of thing. I can't get mad at it, but just a weird move. Anyway. Offers a bishop trade. Because you want to trade these bishops like that. Or like this, too. That also works. Offering a bishop trade. Trades are common in chess because it levels out the board. It doesn't accept the trade at all. Now, the reason this is a bad move is because Black wants to trade on their own terms here. Black wants to be the initiator because you have to take back with your king. And when you move your king in chess, you can no longer castle. If you don't know what castling is, I'd recommend looking that up. You'll quickly find out. I assume most of you who know chess probably already know, though. So yeah, you want to trade on your own terms here. Black, for whatever reason, does not take the bishop. I seriously do not understand why. Continue to play pawn moves, offering this trade of pawns, which is fine. Just continues to play pawn moves. I seriously don't understand why these pawns keep on getting moved. They have not touched their pieces. White has not touched their minor pieces whatsoever. That kind of sounded bad, actually. Anyway. Continues to push pawns. What in the world? Finally trades the bishops, takes back, and then hangs this pawn. This pawn is completely hanging. He can capture this pawn. Black can capture White's pawn with absolutely no punishment. Come on. But he decides not to, and fianchettos his bishop? What? Huh? Now, let's take it back a little bit. So, I was thinking, when you played this move here, with the idea of fianchetto your bishop, which didn't end up happening, I thought that was a bad idea, because this pawn, isn't going anywhere. I mean, little do I know, it did in fact go somewhere, but that's because this game is goofy. And this, you know, the same idea kind of goes because that pawn's not moving. That pawn is going to be pretty obstructed most of the game. So Fien coming there is so odd. Continues to lose this pawn this way. This pawn is still hanging. Trades, that's okay. I have no issue with that. Continues to miss the hanging pawn, and now is attacking it with 2 pieces. There is a way to get out of the hanging now by simply just capturing there. It's better. Still continues to hang the pawn. Still completely hanging. And then he attacks with the knight. What in the world? It is being attacked by 3 pieces and still absolutely refuses to be captured. Now you can just play this and just kick the knight. What in the... what? Huh? It proceeds to play here. Attacking the knight. That's okay. This pawn's still hanging. And finally decides to take the pawn with the piece that could have captured it for 5 moves and hangs the knight in the same move. Incredible stuff, really. Then does not take the knight back and just continues to push pawns. Unbelievable. Continues to hang the knight. Finally captures the knight. Rook c8. Stockfish isn't a huge fan of this move. He says it's just okay. But the boy likes this move. Because there's an idea like here, capturing this pawn. It can actually take back because you end up losing the bishop. Very neat tactic. Would Black have seen that? Absolutely not, but just wanted to point that out. And then this just plays this absolutely ridiculous move. Remember when I said when you move your king, you can't castle anymore? Yeah, you can't castle anymore. And it exposes your king is so exposed. It is unbelievable how exposed your king is. It is just craziness. I cannot fathom why I thought that was a good idea. I'm gonna hope it was a mouse slip. I don't know. Castles, that's okay. Stockfish wants you to play here. Good move. Developing the knight, of course. In chess, your knight is weaker when it is against the wall because it controls less squares. Because as of this current moment, the only square the knight controls is this square. And let's be real, one of White's pieces is very unlikely going to be on this square. So this knight's completely useless right now, so you want to develop it. Takes the free pawn. This is a mistake, but like I said, for a very, very advanced reason, it's not actually really too bad a mistake, because like I said, there's absolutely no chance Black finds that. That's why it's a mistake. Again, obviously misses the move. This is a pretty bad move, because it just hangs this pawn. And Black actually played that. I mean, White actually played that move, which is pretty impressive. I'm proud of him. Because, I mean, there's not much you can do here. Develops the knight. That's okay. Now, if you're a strong chess player, you'd be like, oh, this pawn's hanging. And you're technically right, that pawn's hanging. That doesn't mean you should take it, though. Because the idea here is that if you play here, the queen cannot escape at all. Because if you try to move it, like over here, you can't. Because it'll be attacking the king. So your best move here is to just take the rook, and you're just completely down material. Now, Black finds a genuinely impressive move here by playing the exact same idea, but worse. What in the world? It is the same idea in that the queen cannot escape and is forced to trade. But instead of it being bad for White, it is equal. Literally how? How did you mess that up? You had the exact idea, but you did it wrong. And White's just better. White is just completely winning. White is completely winning in this position. This is absurd. Absurd. Just really incredible stuff. This is a strong move. Kind of. I mean, the best move for White here is to play here because it unhangs the bishop and wins the tempo on the rook, forcing the rook to go back at the same time. White finds this move somehow, which is just silly. Now, the best move for Black here is to play here, which Black finds because this bishop can't escape. Actually, yes, it can. Wait, no. Man, I'm stupid. What is going on today? I'm so tired, you guys. And he just hangs the bishop. Because he's, tapped his bishop. The king can't take defended. And so the best move for white here is to play here because it defends this hanging knight. Doesn't do that. And proceeds to do this very elaborate trade where it takes with the knight and then takes the rook. Very odd move. White continues to hang the knight. There's not really a practical way to unhang the knight here, so I believe the best move is to just push this pawn and just let the knight hang. Let me check. Yeah, okay. Which is not what happens. They push this pawn instead, and that gets taken. Continues to play here. Takes the open file, kicks the knight at the same time. Good move. Returns to the open file. Very smart. Get your knight out. Get your rook out of there. Very good. It's time to push the pass pawn. Pardon me. Good move. Very just strange move. I don't really understand. And immediately loses this pawn, which black actually takes. See, this is proof that black actually can see hanging pawns. Unbelievable. Continues to push the pass pawn. Decides to push their pass pawn, which isn't really passed at all. Develops the knight, that's okay. Needs to push pawns. Takes the free pawn. Plays bishop here. Very odd. Stockfish wants you to play here because your knight needs to be centralized to be effective. Because it kind of stops this pawn in its tracks. Because the idea is to go here and then support it with this pawn, but it can't now because it just dies. But he decides to play bishop there. Continues to push the pass pawn. Very good. Rook there. That is a smart move. This is a good move because the pawn can't really queen now. But at the same time, you can't take the pawn because it's defended by the rook. And I'm not really sure what happened here. I think the rook and the pawn are kind of magnetically charged because the rook just magnetizes towards the pawn for whatever reason. What more does that do? You may be thinking, oh, well, it actually threatens to win this pawn, as a matter of fact. No. No. It just brought the rook closer. I guess maybe the pawn needed a hug. That's pretty wholesome, actually. That's what I'm going to say. Develops the knight. Very good. However, that is not as effective now, because when you play here, they can't really take because of that. Well, actually, hold up. You can't really play here. You can play here, because we can't play here. It takes. I'm doing some calculations here. I only looked at this game one time, so I'm not 100% positive on all the calculations. But I'm pretty good at chess, so I think I have a good idea. If I got something wrong, you're absolutely free to make fun of me. I'm okay with that. Pushes it. Very good. Very strange move here. This just completely loses a pawn because when takes, you can't really take with the bishop because the knight. And you know what? It's just completely hold the phone. Absolutely genius move. Ridiculous. And you want to know why? Because if you take, this pawn is going to promote. You can do absolutely nothing to stop this pawn from becoming a queen. There's nothing you can do. It is completely over. Black has completely won the game. Absolute madness. This game was just truly an emotional roller coaster. But I haven't even told you the best part yet. In this position, white offered a draw, and black accepted. Unbelievable. I mean, I guess when chess is played perfectly, it's a draw. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more like this, bye. I don't care. Bye.